How do you feel about creating jobs in Ohio? I'm talking about the whole gamut, from specialized high-tech jobs to maintenance, skilled manufacturing, through ancillary services such as custodial, food service, retail, etc. Are you for it? Do you want to see Ohio grow and have our economy boosted and our standard of living go up? Do you want to see this happen now? If you're thinking, oh yes, then you need to know more about a sleeper issue in Ohio that's making its way into the spotlight. I'm talking about the wind energy revolution and its potential to change our lives forever. The bad news, though, is that this scenario is in jeopardy unless we act now. Hi everybody, my name is Judy Criswell and I'm here to talk to you about wind energy, how it's harnessed and used, how it benefits Ohioans, what we can do today to lay the groundwork and make Ohio a leader in this innovative field, and some of the stumbling blocks in momentum that we're facing due to the weak claims made by opposition and special interest groups, and what we can do to counteract their tactics. So what exactly is wind energy? Wind is a sustainable, ever-present green energy source. When air moves quickly in the form of wind, the gas particles that are in the air are moving quickly, generating what's known as kinetic energy. The kinetic energy can be captured, just like the energy in moving water can be captured by the turbine in a hydroelectric dam. The blades on a wind electric turbine are designed to capture the kinetic energy in wind. When the turbine blades capture wind energy and start moving, they spin a shaft that leads from the hub of the rotor to a generator. The generator turns that rotational energy into electricity. At its essence, generating electricity from the wind is all about transferring energy from one medium to another. The sun has everything to do with the generation of wind. As areas of land are heated by the sun's rays, the land mass absorbs some of the heat. Once a certain temperature is reached, there's a quick rise of that hotter air. These fast-moving particles exert more pressure than the cooler, slow-moving particles. It's when the hot air suddenly rises that cooler air flows in quickly to fill the gaps that the hot air leaves behind. The air that rushes in to fill the gaps is called wind. It's at this point that we're able to harness the wind energy. The turbines on a wind farm, which is a collection in an area of wind turbines that convert the power of wind into electricity, do not pollute the environment nearly as much as the fossil fuels, coal, nuclear power that we're using right now do. Using wind as a power source is not a nouveau concept. Take a look at the windmills in Holland, or even those in Amish country in Ohio. The power generated by the wind is vast and nearly continuous. Ohio is a national leader in wind-related manufacturing, with more facilities producing products for the wind energy industry than any other state. It stands to reason that we as Ohioans, especially Northwest Ohio, having this green, sustainable, money-making marvel at our fingertips, need to act now to attract additional investment and growth with in-state installations. We have developable wind resources both on and offshore. By developing these resources, Ohio can create new economic development. We're already a hub for wind energy manufacturing. We need to strike while the iron's hot and keep forging ahead. The number of jobs for Ohioans resulting from continued development and implementation of wind farms is projected to grow exponentially over time. Basic economics tells us that as personal income grows, the amount of money that we spend on local businesses increases, thereby creating the need and the opportunity for more jobs, further boosting our economy. While resulting revenue is certainly a key factor in the motivation toward wind energy, it's by no means the only aspect to consider. For far too long, we've been dependent on non-sustainable resources for energy production. Coal, petroleum, and natural gas are resources that will eventually run out. The emissions of toxins and pollutants generated by these fossil fuels and their effect on people and the environment needs to be taken into account as well. We must take strides toward alternative energy sources before time runs out. So you're likely wondering by now what the possible arguments could be against this pragmatic alternative to our energy conundrum. Some would argue that wind is an inconsistent source of energy and can't meet the energy demand alone. Another form of concurrent energy is necessary. This is absolutely true. Wind energy is not meant to be the end-all be-all solution. Rather, it serves as one alternate source of generating power. Opponents say that the upfront cost and installation of wind turbines is very expensive for commercial or residential applications. This is also true, but there are government subsidies and programs in place to help defer the costs. There's a great deal of preliminary research that goes in before turbines are ever put into place. If it's determined that recovery of investment would take too long in a proposed area, the turbines just won't be built there. They say that wind turbines can threaten wildlife, for example, birds or bats flying into them. According to an article from PolitiFact, studies have estimated that the number of annual avian fatalities by U.S. wind turbines ranges from 10,000 all the way to 440,000. As comparison, collisions with buildings may kill up to 976 million birds. Another point of contention is the amount of noise generated by the turbines. Treehugger.com reports that the noise generated from a wind turbine is comparable to the noise emitted from a refrigerator. You would think that the government leaders in Ohio would want to keep moving forward and remain in the forefront of the industry. Unfortunately, Governor Kasich signed a Senate bill which put a freeze on Ohio's renewable electricity for 2 years. Ohio became the first state to slow down the clean energy progress. By doing so, not only will hundreds of people lose their jobs, but Ohio's economy will suffer as a result. I urge you to get informed. Get involved. Contact your local representatives and tell them Ohio cannot lag behind. We need to be leaders in our quest for wind energy. Thank you for listening. Thank you for acting.